Hello guys, in the last video we have seen how object is created and how identities are created, how identities are stored in the form of the variables. Hash code is an identity, reference value is an identity, other identity, that reference value is created here in stack memory, that's fine. Now in this video we are going to see initialization process for the object creation. Right sir, then whenever object is created in a heap memory, when identities are created, then after that the remaining work is JVM has to store initial values inside the object. JVM has to store initial values inside the object. Clear? First of all, what JVM is doing now? First, JVM will store all the instance variables inside the object, not static variables. Static variable data will not be stored inside the object. Not static variable, only instance variables that will be stored inside the object. Memory will be created for the instance variables inside the object. Okay, what are the various variables are available? I variable is existed, F variable is existed, and C variable is existed. I variable is an integer, so 4 bytes of memory. F variable is a float, so 4 bytes of memory, and C variable is a char, so 2 bytes of memory. So first of all, I variable will have 4 bytes of memory inside the object. Directly here, I variable will have 4 bytes of memory. Next one, then after that JVM will provide F variable. This F variable will have again 4 bytes of memory inside the object. Then after that C variable will have again 2 bytes of memory. Now this time the C variable is 2 bytes of memory. Why? Because character will take only 2 bytes of memory inside the object. So after creating object, after getting identities there, immediately JVM has to store initial values inside the object. To store initial values inside the object, all instance variables will be stored inside the object. Okay, what are the various instance variables there? I variable, F variable, and C variable. These 3 variables are stored inside the object. After providing memory allocation for these 3 variables, immediately JVM must provide initial values inside these variables inside the object. To provide initial values for these 3 variables inside this object, first JVM will come to the class level declaration. First JVM will come to which one there? Class level declaration. Right, JVM will search for initialization for instance variables at class level declaration. At a class level, if any variable is initialized, automatically that value will be stored inside this which one? Object. Now I variable is not having initialization, F variable is having initialization. Immediately F value will be saved inside our which one they know? Respective object. Okay, F value is saved. C variable is not having any value in the respective class level declaration. Okay, fine. After completion of checking that initial values at a class level declaration, after that JVM will go to the constructor. Inside this constructor, JVM will search for any variable initialized or not. Right sir, inside this constructor C variable is initialized. Immediately C variable value will be stored inside our object. For C variable, what exactly the value is available here? No, B value is available here. That B value is stored inside this respective object. That's fine. So still one variable is not having initialization. If any variable is not having initialization at class level declaration and inside the constructor, then immediately JVM will store default value for the respective variable. JVM will store default values for the respective variable on the basis of the data type. Now I variable is not having initialization. When I variable is not having initialization there explicitly, then JVM will store default values for this I variable on the basis of its data type. I variable data type is which one? Int. So int default value is which one? 0. So immediately the total 0 value will be stored inside this particular object. Now 0 is stored here. Whenever that initial values are stored inside this object, totally object creation process is completed. So whenever we provided values inside this object, automatically object creation process is created. That object is created with the reference value AB56 and with the reference variable it is which one they know? A variable. Literally if you want to refer the A variable here we are able to use like this. A2 this particular object. Just literally we can refer like this. Object will be referred like this. We can understand this clearly now. Right, sir? Totally object creation process is completed here. This is a total object creation process. If you observe this total object creation process, if you observe there, mainly 3 points here we are able to get. The total object creation process is divided into 3 points. What are the 3 points here now? Point number 1, creating memory for the object. Creating memory for the object, that is point number 1. Point number 2, generating identities for the object. Generating identities for the object. And point number 3, providing initial values inside the object. Providing initial values inside the object. Overall, 3 types are available, 3 points are available here inside this overall object creation. What are the 3 points here? First one is creating memory for the object, and second one is which one? Generating identities for the object, and the third one is which one? Like providing initial values inside the object. Understand this, generating memory for the object. So whenever A class bytecode is loaded to the memory, JVM will go to the class A and JVM will search for instance variables, and JVM recognizes the data types of the instance variable. Right, sir? If data types might be available there, on the basis of the data type, JVM will calculate that memory, minimal memory requirement for the object. Then immediately JVM will give an intimation to the heap manager about to create an object minimally. Now this memory calculation is which one? There temporary calculation only, that means minimal calculation only. It is not final size for the object memory. So final memory size of the object we are unable to calculate in Java, but roughly we can calculate. Instance variable values are going to be stored inside the object, so that on the basis of the instance variables data types, roughly we are able to calculate how much size we required for the object. So here size of the object is 10 bytes of memory. When JVM is requesting to the heap manager about to create 10 bytes of memory, then immediately JVM will create, that means heap manager will create 10 bytes of memory object kernel. Right, sir? This is the meaning of which one? Creating memory now. Next one, point number 2 is which one? Generating identities for the object. Whenever memory is created in the heap memory by this heap manager, immediately heap manager will assign an unique identity for this particular object. That unique identity is provided in the form of an integer variable. That integer variable is called as which one? They know hash code of the object. Whenever hash code value is created here, that hash code value will be given to the JVM. JVM will convert that hash code value into its reference value. That means hexadecimal form. Hexadecimal form of hash code is nothing but which one? Reference value. That reference value will be assigned to a variable. That variable is called as which one? They know reference variable directly. Okay, whenever reference variable is available, automatically identities are created. 2 identities are created for this object. One is a hash code, another one is which one? There, reference value directly. So 2 steps are completed. Now what about the third step here now? After creating object and after providing identities there, then providing initial values inside the object is required. To provide initial values inside the object, first of all instance variables will have memory allocation inside the object. Then immediately JVM will come to the class A, recognize all the instance variables and their data types. On the basis of the data types, memory will be allocated for instance variables inside the respective object. When memory allocation is completed, to provide initial values, first JVM will come to the class level declaration and checks if any variable is having initialization or not. If any variable is having initialization at class level, that value will be stored inside the object. If any variable is not having initialization at class level, then JVM will come to the like a constructor. Inside the constructor, JVM will check whether this any variable is initialized or not. If any variable is initialized through the constructor also, that value will be stored inside this which one? They know object. If any variable is not yet initialized through the constructor and at the class level declaration, then immediately JVM has to store that value inside the object by providing which one? They know default value. How this default value is going to be calculated? The default value is going to be calculated on the basis of which one? They know directly on the basis of default, on the basis of the data type of the respective variable. So data type for this I variable is which one? Integer. Integer default value is which one? 0. The 0 value will be stored inside this particular object. So overall this is what exactly the object creation process, which includes only 3 steps. The step number 1 is which one? Generating, that means creating memory for the object, generating identities for the object and providing initial values for the object. In this overall object creation inside the Java programs, 2 more fundamental points we understood clearly. The first point is which one? Whenever we are loading class bytecode to the memory method area, automatically class object will be created inside the heap memory which contains metadata of the respective class. Next one is, if any thread is created in Java program, automatically a stack will be created to store this method data, which methods are accessed by the respective thread. To store that method's data, automatically stack will be created inside the stack memory. The stack is for which one? Then the main thread. In this example here we are getting. So whenever that thread is accessing any other method, with respect to the method, some details are going to be generated. The details are going to be stored inside the respective frame. By creating a frame, by pushing that frame into the respective which one there no thread, that means thread main thread stack no, that method details are going to be managed. Whenever that method execution is completed totally, automatically this frame will be retrieved out, that means popped out. Then whenever this main method related frame is popped out there, automatically flow of execution will be completed and JVM will come to the shutdown mode. By that automatically the total program is going to be terminated. So this is overall object creation for our respective class in our Java application.